Overflow is when you can constrict an element's width and height, but then you sort of run the risk of your content sort of like overflowing to the outside of it. In this lesson, I'm going to provide an example and how you can sort of create like a scroll bar inside of your boxes. Now we have a few different options. We can choose to hide the overflow. We can let the user scroll either left and right, up and down, or just up and down. More often than not, we really just want the user to scroll inside of a box up and down. So let's go ahead and add some content to this box. Now I just have this regular box. We've been working with this throughout the rest of this course, or up until this part of the course anyways. Let's add some lorem ipsum in here, and let's add another line and another line. And let's just make this really long. And the idea here is that this box is supposed to be 300 pixels wide by 300 pixels tall. And this is going to be more content than that box can contain. So if I refresh this page and zoom in, oh, it's actually not quite enough. Let's go ahead and copy this just a couple more times. Here we go. And the idea here is if I zoom out, we have this box and our content is breaking out of it. Now, the reason this happens is because we have set a width and a height. We said specifically with this one, the height of this box is 300 pixels. And it needs to be 300 pixels because maybe that's what our designer said. Our designer said it has to be 300 pixels, cannot be any bigger. It's not allowed to grow, otherwise it's going to look a little weird. So what we can do is add this little scroll bar to the right side here. And we do this quite easily. So on our box class, all we have to do is say overflow. And let's change this to an HTML document again. I write a lot of Django, so my HTML files automatically default to a Django template. Yours should automatically default to HTML by default as soon as you have the .html extension in your file name. So overflow, we have a few different options here. And this is really great. All I did was move my mouse there and it says syntax, visible, hidden, clip, scroll, auto. Let's do hidden first. And so if we wanted to hide that content, hidden will hide that extra content. There is actually more content down here. And we can actually see when I hover over this text that this text takes up that entire section, but it's being hidden. We can also say visible, and that's just the default. That's what we saw originally. And then we can do auto. And this is the one you're going to want more often than not, is scroll back here or flip back here, overflow auto. And when I refresh, it allows me to scroll up and down just like that. Now, this is going to be really important if you're creating an area like a product feature list and you don't want it to take up the entire page and make your user scroll forever. They can choose on a mobile device to just scroll within this box. Or if you have a frequently asked question section, same thing. You don't want it to take up the entire page. If there's like 100 questions, you might just want it to take up like 300 pixels and they can scroll through the answers in here. So that is overflowing. Go ahead, give this a shot. Remember, you need to set a height. You need to have more content than what your element can currently hold with that height, and then set the overflow to auto, and that will just give you this little bar like that.